I would first like to quickly, take our audience through what actually worked for people in 2025 and why it worked. So, of course, CRM gained execution authority. By that, what I mean is that CRM became the system where work is initiated, sequenced, and completed. So, like, it is no more, like I said, it is no more a platform where just insight is being taken care of. It is a platform which is helping leadership authority give answers such as why this lead was not able to convert, or what were the places where we interacted with this specific lead. So accountability, when it comes to workflow ownership, when it comes to overall 360-degree visibility, everything, the teams who were able to bring CRM as their main workforce truly won this year. And I think the net result came out of this was like CRM exited 2025 as infrastructure for decision control, not just intelligent delivery.
Yeah.
After that, the second point is CRM became the coordination layer for work, not just teams. That's a very important point to understand the mindset of the teams who are winning with CRM. What they are truly doing is they are executing. They are they are not doing one tool per team. What they are doing is they have one tool for all teams, as in sales, service, finance, operations. All are managing their data, taking their decisions, executing, ideating, planning, and operationally and efficiently executing on that one platform. And that is being run as the blood, or I would say as the vein of the organization. And that has incredibly helped the teams in 2025. And that is why the idea of keeping a tool very departmental centric changed or moved to making it more like a coordination layer between multiple departments. That has what truly happened with
Yeah.
CRMs in 2025. After that, of course, it was, I think this is a term which is getting utilized a lot, which is operational maturity. Around 4 years, 5 years back, we used to call it efficiency and effectiveness. That has now transformed into operational maturity. Basically, mature teams focused on consistency of execution over speed of change. Something that was taught to us as the difference between effectiveness and efficiency. Outcomes were prioritized over activity volume, and trust was built through explainable system behavior. And again, all of these helped teams win in 2025. Vijay, do you have any additional point to add on to this?
No, I think you're right. Having that maturity within the organization is definitely leading the way the team win, and CRMs are definitely fueling that.
Yeah.
That has definitely changed. And not only that, the shift has been made from in CRM from just storing data to how we can utilize that data for measurable impact, how we can utilize that data to take the right decisions, which will help us do things better. So that has been a change as well, which we are seeing. And there is a change which is allowing not only humans to take actions, but AI to take actions on their behalf. So that is also helping us out. So that operational maturity and then having the data and not just using it as only for storage and utilizing it for your execution, utilizing it for your impact has definitely changed the things.
All right. And, I would again like to put a little bit of stress on this, that with CRM, the controlled journey of a customer. So, like, at least when, I come from marketing. So, for me, it is very important that what my customer's journey is overall, from the touch point where we first had an interaction to them really getting converted or closing to starting our services. For me, this entire journey is very important, and a CRM is giving me that amount of control to have a very controlled journey, to have the right insight, right forecasting, right predictions to tell me what is the next thing that should be served to my prospect or to my going to be customer, to make sure that the overall journey or the overall experience is something that he never forgets or that she never forgets. So I think this is what has been the biggest win for me, at least from marketing. with CRMs. And of course, other than that, through automation, it became very predictable, it became very auditable, and it became very trustable. So, and of course, when I say automation and trust, so people often think that with AI, can we really trust our data, and can we really, are there enough guardrails, or are there enough compliances to make sure that there is that trust is still intact in CRM with AI? I think that is, as much as we will say it, until and unless you will not sit with an expert, and until and unless you will not understand the core technicalities of it, I don't think so one can really get confident about AI and CRM and trust coming together. So an individual has to go out and connect with an expert to know that whether their CRM's data and the AI are you know are something that should be put together, and are should be is something that should be trusted upon.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that is also something that mindset has gotten developed this year in the people, that we have to get AI into our CRM. The whole point is how and what is the right way to do it. That is, and the people who have this mindset are truly being able to leverage AI and get and gain out of it. The rest are like I tell you, are just going into the race of we want AI, we want AI. It is like that. So I would like to complete the whole point on the note that the businesses who have basically let CRM become the operating backbone of their business are truly the businesses who has won with CRM in 2025, right? And do you have anything to add on that?
I think you have pretty much covered everything. Uh, you have pretty much covered everything. If I say it, it would be just me repeating what you have simply said, and I don't want to do that. So yeah,
All
we
right.
can move forward and start discussing about what are the things that they can do now. What are the things that they shouldn't be doing? Yeah.
Right. So I think let us directly come to the pointers now. Failures. We have talked about the teams who got succeeded in 2025. We have to actively talk about the failures that were there in 2025. Number one was, as soon as AI got implemented into the systems, it showed how weak the foundation of their CRM was. Data duplicacy, shortage of data, unavailability of so like if there is a lead, there is not complete information of it. So AI is acting fast, but then it is acting fast on wrong decision making, because with lack of data, the AI is not really able to properly analyze, and that is why the wrong decision making is leading to more and more chaos. Additionally, uh, there have been a lot of unchecked customizations that people had done onto their CRM. So this year, this year was the year when they actually realized there are a lot of cracks and a lot of gaps, because they did a lot of customizations, but that led their foundation very weak. So it's like you have four pillars, but then you have built a building so huge on those four pillars that they cannot really take it. That is what has happened with teams this year.
Yeah, just to add on to this, like Teams has been like, we want to automate this, we want to, automate this, we want to speed this up, we want to implement AI, but they're not realizing, have we made the platform, have we done the things in a way where they were done sequentially? Like we have the data first, then we have all the information coming in and then being unified. Then we have all the actions that we can take, and then we are trying to automate it, then we are trying to implement AI on top of it. So they are just like, I want to do this, yeah, let's do this, and they simply jump into it,
True.
and then they realize, okay, the
Your
user was
system is
same and
not
I
set
am
up.
sending him two different messages like your order has been placed, and that is just breaking the trust that the customer had of my brand.
Correct. It is like you said, right? It was the tipping point this year for weak structure.
Yeah.
Anyone who had a weak CRM structure, and again, a weak CRM structure starts from the point that you have gotten it implemented. If you have not gotten the CRM implemented right, then you are always going to stay short when it comes to new innovations, when it comes to trying to stay ahead in the race, because everybody will do it. Then you will be able to do it because you will be first fixing your foundations. I think other than this, so this year, integration was something I think was not very much adopted. Rather, people wanted something that worked 360 for them. And the teams who had taken right decisions when it comes to choosing the right CRM, when it comes to choosing the right tool, when they took that decision, that really showed up as the winning point for them this year, because they didn't had to do a lot of migration, they didn't had to do a lot of integrations, they didn't had to hop between tools. So the teams who chose a CRM which could work 360 for them were the people who actually were able to show it in terms of revenue as well.
Yeah.
Other than that, I think it was more onto the grounds of so like usually the rules and the controls were added too late. So like when it comes to compliances, when it comes to any trust issues, the teams who had their compliance system priorly prepared were able to win the trust of their customers a bit faster as compared to other teams. And other than that, I think it was also about businesses who kept buying tools instead of fixing how work actually flows. So like this year, the businesses who focused on fixing their workflows and creating workflows, like just create one clear workflow rather than bringing a lot of tools who caters to specific needs of business, which your CRM could have anyways done if you would have created a right workflow for it. But just finding solutions in different tools rather than finding solutions in workflows is what really burned teams down. Because you have to find out a new tool, you will take trials for it, you will take demo for it, you will implement it, you are putting a lot of cost, a lot of time is value, a lot of time, a lot of cost into it, and still you will not be able to scale faster, because now you are racing between you are standing on two boats rather than one. So I think this year was truly for the people who stayed on one platform and tried to create as many workflows as possible on that one platform itself.
Yeah.
So these were the few failures that happened with teams this year. At least that's what our surveys and that's what our conversations at events and conversation with our customers say, that the people who were stuck in these traps were not really able to excel, or I would say showcase it in terms of revenue this year, and something that they need to really prioritize in before the 2026 comes in.
Yeah.